now say hello to Slough. I had to say hello to Asli Kutlucan, who joins me. Asli, how are you this morning?
Wonderful, very good, thank you.
Excellent. I want to congratulate you on the 30th hotel for Cycas Hospitality. Well done. And I believe it's in Zurich. Give us a quick...
It's in Sion. It's in Sion, in Switzerland.
Switzerland,
Sion, yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. We've been trying to enter Switzerland. We see that is a perfect extension to our German and French portfolio. And yeah, we signed it with Credit Suisse as part of a regeneration of the Sion station, and we will be building a Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
I love that, Holiday Inn Express and Suites. I think that's fantastic, because for some of us it would be like sort of do those two together, but of course they go together because it's a more reasonably priced product, I believe, but equally you have space and it's for long stay.
Absolutely, you target both different markets. You have your transient, budget-oriented customers, but we also for your blue-collar or project workers that can't afford a 4-star extended stay, they can stay there during their project, and which is within their budget. So we love this concept, and it's a win-win. Yeah.
So well done. I think that's fantastic, and it's good to see the third-party management concept being accepted more and more and more. Now, 30 hotels, now 1 in Switzerland. We're just coming through, and we've been thinking we would be through already, but we're still in it a little bit, and hopefully it will ebb up or disappear one day. But we're in a crisis. We have closed hotels, we have reopened hotels. Are all your hotels open right now?
Absolutely, yeah, all of them are open.
But you know, with occupancies that were low and whatever, you're now trying to restart or going back to whatever normal might be. Staffing, we read in most destinations that staffing is an issue. You know, people who were laid off have decided to go to other industries and turn their back on hospitality. I come back to number 30. I can't mention it more enough because I really am happy for you. But 30 hotels, to manage 30 hotels, to have staff there, how do you do that? How do you get people back into the industry and stay?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Niels, and it is certainly a bit of a issue for our industry. Now, we've been lucky, right? So I wouldn't classify what happened with us during the last 18 months as a standard operation for other hoteliers. So just as an anecdote, we opened and took over 14 hotels in the past 18 months. And we hired 500 people over last year during the worst part of the pandemic. Now, what happened is 2 things for Cycas. One is we have quite a big portfolio of extended stay hotels, or these double-decker hotels where there is a component of extended stay. These hotels all stay open. They actually were full during the pandemic, as you probably read in all the documents, all the studies, that that was the choice, accommodation choice of everyone to stay in extended stay hotel because of the feeling of safety. You're self-contained, you can cook, eat, sleep, etc. So therefore, we actually did not do any redundancies. We kept all of our teams intact, knowing that we have quite a few hotels still under construction when we started get into the pandemic last March. When everybody's actually really terminating employees because their hotels are closed and well into the pandemic, we were actually opening hotels, and therefore we were hiring people. So before that whole amazing workforce discovered the other alternatives, like being a Amazon driver or delivery driver or any other different segments of different industries, we actually hire people. And of course, that was perfect storm in a way where adding 500 people into our workforce during pandemic, it was quite a statement. And therefore, when we start all the other hotels opening up, the other competitors and the markets, when they were trying to hire, our teams were fully employed, fully on board. And of course, that helped us. Now, how did we retain them? That's an important point. And it all starts with our wonderful people and culture team, which is led by Janet, who's been with Cycas as long as I've been. So I've been with the company 10 years now. Wow. Our focus on people, it's not just in the words, not just on our website under our values. We are in hospitality, and we put our people first from day one. And just to give you an example, our first hotel, which was the Liverpool Staybridge Suites, now it's been open for almost 12, 13 years. Half of the team is still the same team from the opening, from 10
No, that
years
speaks
ago.
for management for sure.
And so we have quite a few stories like this. And what helped us as well, of course, when we focus on people, they feel they're not part of a company, they feel that they're part of a family. So that helped us, of course, throughout the years as our uh, uh, why people choose to stay with us. And we won quite a few awards in the UK, especially with Katie's Cater Awards year after year after. I think now this year is fifth year in a row. We are the only hotel management company that won year after year, being the best employer in hospitality, not hotels, but hospitality.
Hospitality, right.
So, and this is, again, it's very important that we live and breathe this. We have many different programs. For example, our mentoring program called Safari, and we basically invest our executive and leadership team's time to grow and develop our future leaders of the company, and we take this very seriously on board, and we set aside time to spend this time and period with those people. And last but not least, of course, the importance is all of our employees know that they have a career, that they not just in one hotel or even one city, but they have opportunity to grow with Cycas.
Yeah.
And we have, again, many examples of that. One of my hotel director now in Paris, Nicola, he was a receptionist at our first London hotels 12 years ago.
Amazing.
And now he's a hotel director at Charles de Gaulle at our
And look,
Hyatt hotel.
with 30 and growing numbers, I mean, those opportunities increase, and across other borders and whatever. But with growing, you also have got the family gets very big. You mentioned family, and everybody talks about the family nucleus and whatever. But I mean, when you go that big, how will you manage to still have that family feeling, despite the fact that in a few years' time you might have, if your trajectory carries on like that, you will have 50 before we know it, and 100. I mean, how will you manage to keep that family feeling going?
Look, that's always forefront in our minds. This is going to be our biggest challenge. Exactly, you're spot on. How? Now, one of the things we believed since the beginning, when we only had a couple of hotels till now 30 hotels, we don't have a headquarter. Cycas doesn't have a headquarter office. We have some offices on top of our hotels in Amsterdam, which has all the support functions, finance and legal. But rest of us, all of the execs, all of the leadership, all of the off property, or what we will call the corporate level employee, we all go and work from our hotels. We don't believe having an office and sitting on a tower and sending
Emails.
tasks and emails. So what happens is that, look, with our CEO, our CEO Matt and myself, even on the hardest second lockdown this year, we decided that if our employees are going to their hotel to work, to their shift, we're going to travel. So one thing, we took a decision that we're not going to take trains or airplanes. So from January till July, in his car, we did 17,000 kilometers. It tested our relationship for sure.
I'm sure.
And he didn't give me my P45. I didn't give my resignation. So we drove all the way from Amsterdam to UK, north of UK, into France and Germany. But this is, this is when you do this, not just me and Matt, but the rest of our leadership team, they all have spent time in our hotels with our teams. We're visible. So when the teams see this, that's exactly where they feel home.
I get it.
We have some tools as well. We have our own app, Cycas app. Everybody has it. All of our employees has it. And it's a version of almost a Facebook type of an app. So you have a French team or German team or Dutch team or London team. Every day they posting pictures. It can be the newest Christmas tree they put up together or something they're doing at the hotel with their guests. And there is this whole feeling that 1,100 employees we have, they are connected with via these tools as well. Doesn't matter where they live, but they have it, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things happening today. The reason why I'm in Slough, yesterday was our roadshow, Normally, once a year, we do a big event where we have all of our heads of departments and general managers. We put in 2-day event. Of course, given the restrictions and risk around it, we decided that rather than having everybody come to one location, we'll split the north and south of UK, France, Benelux, and Germany, and we go as the exec team and do smaller groups, and we get together. We talk about what happened, what's the vision, and how they're doing. And again, we're spending time with each one of them is under the same roof. So it's all in the action.
I just want to, because we're again running out of time. Money.
Yes.
Because everybody says the hotel industry pays badly and whatever, and I totally get the family feeling. I totally get the putting the employee first and looking after them and whatever, which is the right thing to do. We all want that. We want a sense of belonging. We want to be taken for adults. We want to progress and all that. But at the end of the day, there has to be a number on the paycheck, and I'm not asking for that number. But are you looking to be a better payer than the rest, or how do you manage that part? Because that is unfortunately is a motivator definitely in a certain part of our staffing levels.
Niels, not just now, but since we established the company, rather than paying minimum wage, we paid living wage. So there's a difference, especially in the UK, about that, as you may know.
Yeah.
So we always looked after our teams. We always didn't squeeze them saying that, here's the minimum wage, but what is the living wage in this particular town? And is it London versus Slough versus Liverpool versus Scotland? So we always we were not cheap, and we were not paying the minimum, or we were paying living wage. Secondly, again, when people feel valued, it's more important than the money.
Sure.
When they feel they're part of again, I'm going to emphasize on this, but family, a team. I think a couple of pounds per hour up or down, they do know the difference, and they do want to come to somewhere that they feel they enjoy
that they want to
their
come
life,
to.
and they want to come to. Exactly. So I think money is not everything. Of course, it is important. Of course, you have to pay them well. You have to have them benefits. You have to look after them. But there's also, I think it can get boring just driving around a delivery van versus coming to every day these wonderful hotels.
Look, in our industry has got so much to offer, and as you say, for those who are mobile, to move to another city, to another country, and whatever, it's fascinating.
And then, as I mentioned earlier on, we have a lot of initiatives, in particular in these type of towns and local areas we work with. We work with councils, we work with local schools. So we have a lot of different initiatives, not just now, but they've been established. We've been doing this already with training programs in collaboration with the towns. We are part of it. So that hasn't stopped. That was already in place, and people know that. So, but listen, one more point, perhaps. I know we don't have much time, but we are aware that the shortage is there and it's real. So what we also doing is that IT and technology and hospitality, we are dinosaurs, right? So hotel companies, and we are far behind airlines and all those technologies that they have been around for more than decades. So we are now a pilot scheme for kiosk check-ins, online check-ins, and all those sort of reducing the administrative tasks that people you need every day at reception, filling papers. I mean,
hated it.
We are 2021 and still filling paper. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So
when were you last with us? When was your last day? Well, it's all there. You have it.
Everybody check in online on the kiosk at the airport. So we now bring in our Hyatt properties in Charles de Gaulle, going to be our first pilot scheme. And we're going to roll this out without brand's permission, because what we want to do is that eliminate all that paperwork so that we can have fewer, better paid people at task, where they will be the host rather than doing.
And they can look after, and they can show hospitality.
Let the guests do the machine check-in and information. I will have people who are actually looking in the eye without a barrier, which the reception desk is. So I always see that there's a rejection desk, and they can have actually human contact. So we're not just banking on what's happening with us and our luck with the employment, but we're trying to also find and implement all these technologies that will help us with our employees and teams.
Asli, I wish we could talk much longer. I always say that because I always mean it, because I've got such wonderful guests like yourself, and unfortunately time is running short. Thank you very, very much. I wish you well for the rest of the year. We're running out of time, thank goodness, and hopefully we can turn over a massive new leaf next year. All the very best with the expansion of Cycas, and we'll hope to chat to you soon.
Wonderful. Thanks, Niels. Always a pleasure to be part of. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, she's gone.